Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. All series videos. Thank you so much for the likes, the comments, and for subscribing. In this video, I'll be updating you on Twist of Fate. Guess what? Ranbir is jealous as he arrested Akshay. Akshay proposes to Prachi in the same video. You need to watch till the end to find out how it happened. Please subscribe to this channel and don't forget to click on the notification button to be notified anytime I drop a new video. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up. Tell me what you feel about this video in the comment section. Let's go. The episode starts with Kushi introducing Prachi and Ranbir to each other. She calls them Shiv and Parvati and says both are cute. Prachi asks if he is Shiv. Kushi says yes. Laili says I am her Mayi and asks her not to give 20 rands. She says, you have brought so many saris for me and chocolate for Kushi. I will not take flower money from you. She thanks her. Ranbir asks Prachi, what are you doing here? Prachi gets a call and says, I am coming. She asks Kushi to take care. Lali tells Prachi that she will think about it and inform her later. Prachi asks her to think good, as it is good for Kushi and you also. She says, I will leave. Lali asks her to come. Ranbir asks what she was saying. Lali says she gave me offer like you. Ranbir looks at Prachi and says she wants to adopt Kushi. Prachi thinks even Ranbir wants to adopt her. In case if you don't know who is Kushi, Kushi is Ranbir and Prachi's daughter, but they didn't know right now. And each of them met the girl and tried to adopt the baby, not knowing it's their real baby. Prachi thinks even Ranbir wants to adopt her. He thinks he will not let Prachi take Kushi. Prachi thinks she will not let Ranbir take her. Ranbir says, when I was talking to you, then why did you talk to her? Lali says, I told her also that I am thinking. And she asks him to go. He asks, don't you like me? You ask me to leave always. She says, that madam knows how to keep us happy. Ranbir asks for 2 minutes to talk to Kushi. Lali taunts him for coming to meet Kushi empty-handed. Ranbir goes. Lali calls Kushi as golden hen. Akshay is in the taxi and the goons are following him in the car. The driver tells Akshay that someone is following them. Ranbir and Akshay's car are about to hit. Ranbir stops the car. The goons come in their car and snatches Akshay's bag and tries to take his shoes. Ranbir misunderstands and asks Akshay to give his bag. Akshay asks, who are you? Ranbir says, I am Ranbir Kohli. The goons takes off Akshay's shoes and bag. Ranbir asks, how will you go without his shoes? Akshay asks Ranbir to relax and throws the stick at the car. The stick hits the goon's head and he stops the car. Akshay takes the shoes and bag from the goons. Ranbir sees the goon about to hit Akshay and beats the goon. The goons tell Ranbir that the guy is having their gold. Akshay thanks Ranbir for help and tells that he shall not interfere. He beats the goons. Police comes there. Ranbir tells police that they told him that this man is having their gold. The goons run away. Akshay asks police to catch them. Akshay gets a call from an unknown number. He picks the call and gets shocked. He calls Prachi and asks her to reach Greater Kailash PS as Akshay is arrested. He says he will come there with lawyer. Akshay tells Inspector that he didn't do anything and asks him to leave him. He tells that he belongs to a decent family. Inspector says, I have worn this uniform to catch the guilty, and nobody could escape from my captivity. Akshay says the accusation on me is wrong. Inspector asks him to call lawyer and maintain calm. Akshay says, okay, but give my shoes to me. Inspector asks if I will give you shoes and refuses. Akshay gets upset. Prachi comes to the police station and takes her phone from the car. She gets Ashok's call. Ashok asks him to make Akshay calm and try to make Inspector understand. Prachi asks why he's arrested. Ashok tells Prachi that they have an accident and they'll be late and asks her to go. Prachi comes inside and meets Akshay. Akshay gets happy seeing her and tells her everything. That two cars stopped him and the two goons got down from the car and tried to take his shoe and bag. He tells that another guy was there who was helping the goons. He asks where is Dad. Prachi says he's coming and asks me to come here as I was near. Akshay says just now I landed here from London and got trapped. He says Inspector is seeing him as he is a culprit. Prachi asks Inspector why did he arrest him. Inspector says for heinous crimes, gold smuggling. Prachi asks what are you saying and tells that maybe you don't know. His name is Akshay Tordon. His father is Ashok Tardon. She says they have big companies and does a lot of charity. She says they have much money. Inspector says we arrested him seeing his capability. He tells that his bag piping was made of gold and there was gold biscuit bars in his shoes. He says this is gold smuggling. Prachi says how much money he will make, 50 to 60 lakhs, and tells that Tardon Sir gives this much money in charity. She says something might have happened and London airport and security let him go. She says maybe you got wrong info or misunderstanding. She says his bag can be exchanged, etc. The inspector says maybe, but the witness told that he saw as two gangs are fighting for a bag. Prachi says this can't happen. Inspector searches about Ashok and Akshay Tandon and tells her the guy complained against him. He says if that guy takes back the complaint, then we will leave him. Prachi asks where is that guy. Inspector says he's talking to our senior. Prachi asks what is his name. Akshay says that guy is completely mad. Inspector asks Constable to take her to Ranbir Kohli. Prachi says Ranbir Kohli. Prachi thinks why did Ranbir complain? He got my boss arrested so that I get thrown out from the job. She thinks if Ranbir can stoop low. She recalls Lali's words and thinks if he's doing this to divert me, and then he takes Kushi from Lali. Prachi comes inside the senior officer's cabin and sees Ranbir. Ranbir asks, what are you doing here? Prachi asks, why did you get the innocent man arrested? Ranbir asks if you are involved with gold smuggling and says that's why you got the big car. He calls Inspector to complain about her. Prachi asks him to look at her and asks, who am I? Ranbir says, you are Prachi, my wife. He says, you returned and got me arrested. He says, you are a smuggler. Prachi reminds him that she used to work in his papa's company and got him many deals. He says his heart is cracking seeing her smuggling. He tells her that they were the gang and tells that the guys were pleading him to give the bag. He says he took bag from him and gave to them. He says when police came there, they take the bag. He says I am a responsible citizen and tells that thank God he got him arrested. Prachi tells him that she knows the guy and tells that he is her boss's son. She tells that the guys were smugglers and had put gold in his bag and wanted it later. She says when Inspector told that someone got him arrested, I understood. She asks him if he took revenge on her. He says, why will I take revenge? And you helped me. Prachi asks him to take back the case. The senior officer comes there and asks him to file the case and says he will be in jail all life. Ranbir tells him that he actually was not aware of the truth and now he came to know. He goes out. Prachi says now he came to know. She goes out behind him. Akshay Tandon tries to talk to Ranbir. Ranbir says 1 minute. He talks to Inspector and becomes Akshay's guarantor. The inspector asks Constable to leave him. Akshay asks Prachi what did she tell him. Prachi says the truth. Akshay tells Ranbir that he misunderstood him. Ranbir apologizes to him. Akshay says he don't take anyone's favors and asks him to call him if he needs any help. He thanks Inspector. Inspector asks him to thank Prachi. Akshay says she is a good employee and he will thank her all the day. They come out of the police station. Ranbir's car is not working. Akshay offers to drop him. Ranbir says he will drive. Akshay says, you are trying to become the owner. Ranbir says, I am the person who wants to cover the journey himself. Akshay asks Prachi. She gives the key. Ranbir sits on the front seat with Akshay and drives off. Prachi thinks the difference have come between them. They are sitting as strangers and is not talking. Akshay asks Prachi to tell the address of her house to Ranbir. Prachi says, we have reached my home, and asks Ranbir how he knows. Ranbir says, you had told me. They argue. Akshay says sorry on his behalf. Ranbir and Prachi argue. Akshay says, you are not that kind of guy who don't respect women. Ranbir says, I respect women. He says sorry to Prachi. Prachi says thank you and gets down from the car. Her palu gets stuck. Akshay gets down and frees her palu while looking at her. Ranbir notices and offers help. Akshay frees her palu. Ranbir covers her palu on her and says now it will not get stuck. Prachi goes and rings the doorbell. Akshay is looking at her. Ranbir asks him to come. The episode starts with Aryan telling Ranbir that he got his car repaired. Ranbir looks on. Aryan asks who was that guy and asks why is he stressed. Ranbir says, I will meet you after some time and goes. Aryan asks what will I tell at home. He thinks surely something has happened and thinks if something happened between Prachi and him and where she met him. Akshay comes to Prachi's house. Prachi asks what happened. He says not yet, nothing has happened. He gets inside. Prachi turns and sees him bent down on his knees. He shows the ring and proposes her for marriage. Prachi says, you know well I am not ready for any relationship. Akshay asks, what is the problem? You refuse me always. I will wait for you always. He says he will wait for next year to propose her. He says, I will wait until you agree for marriage. Prachi asks until then you will get hot. Akshay says, you always saved me and I need you always. He says, I will make the smile on your face stay always. Prachi says, we shall search an innocent girl for you whose smile is good. Akshay says, you are perfect for me. I can't marry any random girl. He says, this proposal is not final one. I will propose to you again this year. He tells that dad has found this girl at the airport and told that it is lucky, but it is not that lucky. He meets daddy and Shahana, who gets happy to meet him. Akshay tells that he needs to meet dad also. Prachi asks him to keep car with him today. Akshay leaves. Ranbir is driving the car and thinks of Akshay looking smilingly at Prachi. He thinks, why is he jealous? He shall not be jealous. But of course, he will be jealous and thinks Akshay has feelings for Prachi. The way he was looking at her, Akshay comes home and meets Ashok. Ashok asks, did you propose to her? Akshay says he proposed her, but she refused like always. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and come back for more updates from your favorite Z Word series.